So, today I want to talk about values, family values. One mistake that we mothers can often make is thinking that just because I believe it, my kids are going to believe it. Well, it is true that we model what we model, our children can pick up on and then absorb. But because family life can be so busy and crazy, and there's the urgent things, and there's the schedules, and there's all these different scenarios and day to day life things that happen, what can result is that the things we believe, the things we value deep inside, don't actually really come out or get communicated to our kids, or we don't make it a priority to live them out. It could happen that we're like, of course, serving others and helping others is important. I spent a lot of my childhood doing mission trips and going here and there and helping others. How could you be so selfish and entitled and not think that that's important? And then we can look back and see, we haven't really made time for that with them. And this isn't a negative, this isn't to make us feel bad. It's to actually make us stop and say, wait a minute, what do I value? Am I making time for that? Am I making time to do the things that matter that I want to pass on with my kids? Or do I just believe them in my heart but never make them happen? So I've included in the pack a sheet that has lots of values you'll find. I'm sure you can think of some others to add as well. Go through them for yourself. Have your husband, your spouse go through them. If your kids are old enough, let them look and see. I want you to really, start broad. Say, each person circle 10 and then go through and see what you can narrow down to really be some core values that your family has. Because once you do this, you'll find focus, you'll find prioritization, simplicity in what your family is about. And I can think for one example that in our family is adventure. I traveled and have lived in many different places. So has my husband. And adventure is a big deal to us. Now, I'm not saying it's a moral thing. It's not a moral right or wrong. So I wouldn't have all of my values be something that necessarily weren't tied to morals. But this is a big deal for us. And even in our children's young ages, we just do a lot of random things that we like to call adventures with them. So just going ahead and defining it and saying, we're an adventurous family actually gives legs and feet to what's already happened. It solidifies it. It gives us something to refer to. So when we go to do something with our kids and something kind of crazy out of the blue happens, we can say, whatever, we Normans are adventurous. We love an adventure, don't we? And this actually helps to solidify that value. So once you've labeled and narrowed down your values, now you're not picking some value out of the air you don't actually care about. So this shouldn't be work for you. This shouldn't be hard. It's not an extra thing to do. You're actually just exposing what's already there. So dig deep. What are your values? What are the values you want your kids to remember? What do you want them to absorb? Because it is not a given that just because we believe it, our kids do. However, if we raise our kids in an inclusive, nurturing home where we affirm them and we actually live out the values that we share, these are the values that are far more likely to be passed on to our kids.